Okay, we have this whole box is all full here. So we have to put these two circuits over here. And then we can put the stove back in over here. So what we have to do is turn these two off, pull the breaker out. And this is called a tandem circuit breaker. It goes in the same as a regular one. So it just sits in here like this, pushes in. This. So one thing with these breakers, if you have a multi-wire circuit like we have right here, you cannot put them on the same breaker. You have to have them on opposite legs of the 240. So we will unhook these two. Okay, now we can put one. Okay, these four breakers are off. This is going to be a good one. So I'm going to put one side of that shared neutral split circuit, which is a multi-wire circuit, on this bottom breaker here. And we'll put our other one on this breaker up here. If you put those two wires on the same leg of the 240, you can overload the neutral. So you have to keep them on opposite legs of the 240. Okay, now we can turn these two back on. I'll just make sure these screws are nice and tight in here. Okay, now we have to disconnect this one and this one. Pull this breaker out. Okay, now we can put this one up on this breaker up here. We can turn that one back on. I'll pull this one out the rest of the way. And we gotta get this one over to this breaker up here. And it's a little short, but I'm gonna try to get around down through here and untwist tangle it a little bit. Just barely long enough. So I'll push that in. Tighten it up, and we can turn it back on. Now we may put our double pole breaker back in here for the electric stove they want to have hooked back up. So I'm going to take these two big wires here. Now I had these capped off just so that nothing would touch these and make it live while we weren't using it. So we use a 50 amp breaker here. I'll open up my terminals here. So I'll put the longer one up on the taps. This is the longer one, so I put the wire into the terminal, make sure it goes in all the way there. Okay, now we can put this breaker into our box again. It's in the off position. Now we got to fold these wires back up into the box here. And I'm just going to make sure these screws are tight. I like to get these wires to go back in a little bit further. Just let it lay, don't worry about it. It's only a screwdriver. Alright. Okay, we got it pushed back all the way here. And now we can turn our stove back on. Alrighty, so now we are back in business now. So they have their stove and central air going. Alrighty, so here in the country I was born in, we use 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps, 10 American wire gauge on 30 amps, 8 American wire gauge on 40 amps, and 6 American wire gauge on 50 amps. With your 14 through 10, black is live, white is neutral, Bare green is ground. Red and black are also live colors, and blue is also a live color. There are instances where the white may be live on a switch loop or on a 220, 240 volt circuit that does not require a neutral. So what I did is I put two tandem breakers in, which they are also called cheaters, to make room to hook back up another double pole breaker. Peace. Thanks for watching.